All right. Hello everybody. It's Kenny here on his work session. Um, it's Easter, so happy Easter to everyone out there. Christians, whatever faith you believe in, Christ died for everyone, buddy. So welcome to the club. If you are in, congratulations. You're out. We're waiting for you. So today I have something very important to talk about. But before I put that up, I'm gonna clear the way because last week, from what I posted, I got some people try to make ideas out of it, and I just want to clear that before I go into what I want to talk about today. The key point I tried to buttress last week was that your message is not your message. All right, Christ is our message. Him crucified, death and resurrection. So now we have a new life, right? That's our message. And coincidentally, I don't think it's a coincidence. It's a plan. This is Easter again. All right, so some people say that telling of your story is the deliverance of many. You know, one of the tricky thing about the Bible is that you can use the Bible to say whatever you want to say. All right, you can use the Bible to describe whatever situation you want to describe, but the context is what we're talking about, right? So that verse wasn't talking about your personal story. That verse is talking about Christ. The songwriter said, "Go and tell it on the mountain, over the hills, and everywhere, that Christ." That is the story. You don't have a story, man. Your life has got a lot of crisis in it, and your story is not our inspiration. Jesus is our inspiration. You didn't die, and you didn't save anybody. All right. If your story at all is gonna be anything of quality for us, right? Then tell me, how many people's story are we going to model after? Do you know how many folks are out there in the world? The world population today is about 8.1 billion people. So whose story would you pick? See that? That's not even practical anywhere, right? And again, in the Bible, if you read through the Bible, you realize that the woman with the issue of blood had an experience with Jesus. Her experience was that if I can touch this man, I will be healed, right? Then we have blind Bartimaeus. Blind Bartimaeus had his experience. He screamed from wherever he was. Then we have the centurion. We have Jairus' daughter was dying. Jairus was the leader in the synagogue. He said, "Jesus, go to my house and heal my daughter," right? The centurion stood wherever he was and asked that Jesus should come, should speak from wherever he is. So you notice that 4 different people had 4 different encounters based on what they understand about Christ. If the one with the issue of blood sold her reality, her story to blind Bartimaeus, it would have been impossible for that man to be healed because he cannot touch Jesus' garment. How will he even see? He can't see. All right. So your story is just like I said last week. It's just for you. It's not for us. Tell your story, but do not carve out doctrines out of it. All right. So that's it. That's it for now. So here, what I want to talk about today is still in line with the marriage reality, but I'm just gonna go a little bit deeper. Yes, last week I tried to talk about the ideas that has not been making it work, and I'm going to expand on that now. The topic for today is the worst person to advise you on marriage is a married person. Yeah, you heard me right. I'm going to say it again. The worst person you should listen to when it comes to marriage-related issues is a married person. Maybe that is why marriages have not been working. Imagine I walk up to you and I begin to model the concept of my home to you, and I'm expecting you to apply what is working for me in my house, in your house. How will it work? You don't have my assumptions. The things I know, you don't know. The things you know, I do not know. You're not getting married to my wife. The reason why many people's wives behave the way they do is because of the makeup, right? It has to do with the wife's experience, her intelligence, the things, the ideas she give herself access to, and the ideas she refuse to give access to, right? The environment, tradition, parenting, culture. It takes a lot to be one person. So how dare you to walk up to me and tell me, yeah, because this is working in my house, you apply it. To me, I think it's arrogant. And again, it's oppressive because you're trying to make me do what is easy for you that I don't know how to do. So where am I going to start from? All right. So my counsel today is easy, that you want to get married, you want to have a good home. What you want to do is you want to ask yourself, who are you and what do you want? You can't use my model. All right. It's like giving me your shoes. Now you say, okay, Kenny, I want you to put my shoes on. Let me see. Apostle, sir. Excuse me. What's the shoe size? Size 45. Okay, I wear size 40. In some cases, I wear size 39. I don't know what kind of feel I have. But imagine I'm wearing Apostle shoes. Everybody will laugh at me because I'm going to look awkward. It is never going to look good on me. Can I see the shoe there, sir? Thank you. Yeah, by the way, this is Givenchy, right? So this is size 45 pair of shoe. Do you understand? I think my slippers is there. Can you see it anywhere? Side side. We have to get practical about this so people can understand what I'm trying to say. Yep. All right. So this is what I'm putting on. Right. This is size 39. This is size 45. Do you think that this man, Apostle, can put his feet into these shoes? No way. Except if you're trying to kill him. In fact, you can't. It's not possible because his feet wouldn't get in there. But this is exactly, and imagine me trying to wear this. It's not going to work. This is exactly what society is teaching as marriage. Marriage is not popular culture. There's no one person that can give you a template for marriage. Only you. So you want to find out, what do I know? What kind of a home am I trying to build? What is the level of my understanding? If you pick a partner that resonates with what you know, there's no how you get it wrong. But if you pick a partner that knows more than you, or you marry somebody who knows, or you know more, whichever way, you know what I'm trying to talk about. You guys can't sit together because everybody has a self-concept. Our actions are based on the things that we know, and we don't know the same things. So please, if you're size 4, marry size 4. You will live happily ever after. If you're size 7, marry size 7. If you're size 2, don't try to model your life after size 15. You know, some people are even trying to compare their spouse to other people. That's the highest state of stupidity. The Bible said, they that compare themselves to themselves are not wise. That is polite. If I'm going to say it, I will say they that compare themselves to themselves are fools. It's a foolish thing, because whatever you compare yourself to, right, becomes more important to whatever you have. So, if you're married and you're comparing your wife's beauty to another woman, guess what? There's always going to be a woman that is more beautiful than your wife. There's always going to be another man that is more than your husband. And I think it is disrespect for any man to tell his wife that you are the most beautiful woman in the world. That's a lie. She's not. Why are you lying? Who said this standard that the most beautiful woman in the world is the best woman? There's no such thing. What is best for you is what fits you. Like I just showed you the analogy of the shoes now. All right. So you want to choose, find your partner, look for what works for you, and stay there, and then grow where you are planted. Then you can grow. And this is my ultimate counsel for you today. If you put this to work, there is no how. It's not going to help you. All right. This is work session, and Ken has spoken. I'm out.